Hi, welcome back everybody. In a manner of speaking, just a few things. Yeah, I miss being at the center. I miss my students, and this is going to be really weird. So the first lesson I want to do is on something called Anaphora, which is a figure of speech or figurative language device. And it's actually something that we use on a day-to-day basis, and we don't even know that we're doing it. It's something that we read a lot. It's in our songs, it's in literature, it's in everyday life, and definitely in a lot of speeches. Okay, so the word anaphora, and I hope you guys can see this. It looks kind of small to me from where I've got the computer at, but we're going to see how this works, and I'll figure out how to move it closer if I need to later. Okay, so anaphora, it is Greek, and it means to carry up or carry back. So in modern terms, it means that it is before. So it's something on one end of a sentence, and it goes back to something in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, there are three types. Typo, number one typo. Three types. You can have one within a sentence. You can have it among sentences. And that third one is having to do with repetition for effect. And kind of working off of a script, which for those of you that have been in my class, I kind of work off script more than I do anything else. I'm only going to do 1 and 2 today. I'm going to do the one about literature and such for repetition for effect another time. Okay? So if we start with a very simple sentence, right? Now there's a couple things. First of all, you have to know some parts of the sentence structure. There is a subject part, and then there is a predicate part. This and the division on it is right here in front of the verb. Okay, so that means that everything before the verb, this is called your subject part. Everything after it, from the verb to the end of the sentence, is called the predicate. Okay. Now, grab a few more colors. Okay, so our actual subject of the subject part is Charlie. He's the subject. Just forgot something. Okay, now what refers back to him? There's one word, actually technically there's two words that refer back to Charlie. Well, those are going to be your pronouns. So it's going to be he and his. Now, a couple of other things about what part is anaphora and what is not. We have okay, so the anaphora is going to be on the back side, which means he and his are the anaphoras because it refers back to Charlie. Charlie, besides it being a noun, is also called the antecedent. Okay, ante means before. Okay, so Charlie is the antecedent. He and his are called the anaphora. Hope everybody's good at that. Okay, another sentence. Okay, so escaped is the verb. So our subject is here, predicate is here. Okay, so what are we concerned with? Well, first of all, identify the subject, the very first noun you basically get, and that's going to be prisoners. Okay, what refers back to prisoners? Well, in the second part of the sentence, and this is one sentence. However, I do have a semicolon in the middle. This is because when you're joining up maybe two short sentences to make a longer sentence, and you have separate subject and predicates, you can actually connect them together using a semicolon. Okay, but this tells you still that this is still one sentence, technically, and there is still an antecedent and there is still an anaphora. The anaphora, remember, refers back to the original subject. Okay, so here we have prisoners as the antecedent. They refers to the prisoners. Okay, so anaphora is they, the antecedent is prisoners. Okay, one more sentence and I'm going on to the more than two sentence option. Okay, Kaylee and Delilah sobbed in their room all afternoon. Okay. Sobbed is your verb. Predicate, subject. Pretty easy to figure out the subject in this because it's just Delilah and Kaylee. Okay, so you just have these two. That is your subject. Well, what word actually refers back to the both of them? Their room. Okay, it goes back to the two girls. Okay, now you can actually use anaphora to figure out some other information within the text, okay, between sentences. So if I add another sentence after, So the twin sisters wept after the loss of their pet turtle. Okay, wept is your verb. It is a synonym for sobbed, and there are synonyms for crying. Okay, so we have, again, the twin sisters and then we have the loss of their pet turtle. Well, the word "their" refers back to the twin sisters. Okay, so what this gives us, okay, we have the very first time we had the antecedent. Okay, the anaphora, the very first one was the word "their." Well, now since we've added another sentence, we still have another antecedent. Actually, we have a couple more antecedents. First of all, not only the twin sisters and antecedents in this sentence itself, it is actually in reference to Kaylee and Delilah, which means the twin sisters is an anaphora to Kaylee and Delilah. And of course, you have the word "there" again. So you can even have an anaphora referring back to something in the previous sentences or two. Now, maybe it's a manual. Maybe it's a set of directions. Maybe it's a legal document. Okay, you're always going to have like the word "it." If you have, party of the first part, party of the second part, part one, part two, whatever. Okay, you're always going to have something referring back to something originally that was stated in the first couple of sentences within the paragraph or within the whole text itself. So it's going to have to be something that referred back to what? What are they talking about? I mean, how many times have you guys tried to read something and maybe even lose track of where you're at, or you track as to where they're going with something? For this anaphora connection is going to help you go back to what they were talking about so you can regain the understanding, the comprehension of what it is that you're reading. Okay, now when you have sentences like this, or even a paragraph, and it is going to give you more details. So when you're trying to figure out your main idea, or you're trying to figure out the theme, you've got to look at all the details. Now, for something like this, it actually does give us more information. Okay, first of all, they're sobbing, which means they're sad and crying. Okay, and they share a room. Well, what does the next sentence tell us? It says twin sisters. The girls, they're twins. Whoop. And it gives you an explanation as to why they're sad and crying, and it's because the loss of their pets. Okay, now loss, this is also going to help you even figure out, to help you draw a conclusion. Okay, it says the word loss. Well, that can mean two things. It could mean that their pet died, or it's just gone. You lose track of a turtle, but it has been known to happen. Okay, so it's giving you more information from one sentence to the next sentence, and that is also going to help you in your reading of more complex text, especially if you're doing something legally, or maybe something, a big thing of literature, maybe your manuals. Okay, it's there to give you a reference back to something else. All right, now the assignment that I am going to be giving you is actually going to be in IXL. Now, those of you that are on level M, you'll be given 2 assignments to do at that level. And those of you who are on the D level, you're going to be given 2 assignments that correspond to you. They are all having anaphora, your antecedents, or whatever word comes before that pronoun. Okay, so be watchful for that. That's what's going to be coming up, and it's going to be due sometime next week. Video is included with that time. And after you get your assignments done, or at least work done for half an hour, then you need to do half an hour of IXL. Okay, now on IXL, I can actually keep track of your active time, and that's what I'm looking for. If you think that just that 30 minutes is going to suffice, no. You need to be active the whole 30 minutes. Also, if you're going to be on that and then just clicking answers or doing something, I think somebody did something at a certain level. No, none of you are that low. That would be Mrs. Deb's class, not mine. So you need to work on the level that you should be at. And if you don't know that, then you need to let me know so I can tell you. And you need to be actively working in specific things. Like for right now, if you're working on details, quotes, main idea, those things are prevalent in the TABE test. So you need to get to be very good at doing those. All right, so please work on those until you get 80% or 80 on that SMART score. That's good enough. Okay, if you want to go higher than that and you get a 90, that's proficient. And if you get to 100, that means mastery. So it's going to depend on how far you want to go up and how good you want to be at. But I will tell you, the better you get at doing the IXL, especially if you can get into the TABE section down below, the better off you're going to be when we get back. Because everybody is going to get TABE tested when we get back. Because all of you are going to be past that 90 days to be tested anyway. And for those of you that are wondering, does this work towards your 60? Yes, it does. But everybody is pretty much going to get tested across the board when we get back anyway. Miss Jen is going to be going, if you don't want to be in my class for an hour and a half, every day or every other day, then TABE out. Okay, you have got to put forth the work. I had one student who didn't do a dang thing, and then when he got to test again, he got the same thing. He was upset. I didn't do anything in class to change that. Remember, insanity definition is doing the same thing over and over again. Put forth the effort to do what you've got to do to TABE out of my class, so you don't have to be in there for another 60 hours that you could put towards something else. Maybe towards your high school, maybe towards your trade. Okay, there's got to be more out there besides my class. But the only way for you to get there is to TABE out of my class. Okay, so take it to heart. Do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. Bye, guys. I'll get you in a couple more days for another one. Bye.